Well, our very special guest today, and absolutely famous as a boxing superstar, Sharon, the Wild Thing, Anyos. Now, Sharon, she was a trailblazer, smashed down doors for Australian female boxers, or for world female boxers really. She was the first Australian woman to win a WBC title. She went on to win 5 of them. Fantastic, and Sharon is finally being recognised well after the fact, being inducted into the Australian Boxing Hall of Fame. Sharon, congratulations, mate. You must be pretty honoured.
Thank you. You always get me like a bit emotional when you say stuff. Because
Gets me emotional too.
At this part of my life, it's like life is quite busy, and you kind of, that was like previous, and life is so busy now that when you kind of hear it, you're like, wow.
You actually do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what does it mean to you to be inducted? You're the first woman, and it's, you know, there's some pretty high profile people being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's huge. I think I've watched the Hall of Fame happen for so many years, and just thought, is it ever going to happen? Do I have to be dead? I have made a couple of phone calls to ask the question, and you know, when there's such a major committee, like such a big committee of people that are responsible for voting who's in, who's, you know, and to know I think there's 13 or 15 people that put their votes in each year, and you know, it's like in such a male-dominated sport as well, to finally have them say yes, you're definitely, you know, up at this caliber of being inducted. It's beautiful.
Well, you're in another Hall of Fame too. Is it the American Boxing Hall of Fame or the WBC?
So I'm in the International Women's Boxing Hall of Fame.
Yep.
So the Hall of Fame I'm going to on Friday, because obviously with COVID and everything they couldn't run any events. So I kind of got inducted into the Australian Hall of Fame, the International Women's Boxing Hall of Fame, all around the same time. It all happened quite quickly. So Vegas is October to be inducted into the Women's Hall of Fame as well. So it's like, I don't know, sometimes someone said to me, now you know how old you are. If you've finally been inducted, you know how old you are. Like, it's to be recognised, a woman in such a really tough sport, to have that recognition and be the first woman to be on a banner that they walk past, and to stand in front of the lectern and talk to people and share some stories and some crazy fun stories of what happened in the ring is just, mind blowing.
Well, you opened up so many doors for women sportsmen, didn't you?
Yeah, I look in
Without
sometimes.
even knowing it, probably.
Yeah, well, I'd do things, and you know, then my mum usually my mum has always been my biggest fan. I love you, Mum. I bet many girls say that, and many boys as well. But my mum would say, "Do you realise you've just broken history? You've written your name down in history again. Do you know you've written your name down?" And I would do something else, and she was like, "Do you know that's the first time in history, the first time in history, the first time in history?" And so it's like, you know, sometimes I say to people I'm like a bit of a history maker, because no one's kind of stepped in there before me. So it's beautiful.
It's amazing. And of course, you were presented with a WBC World Emeritus title. Now, that's reserved for the greats, isn't it?
Yes.
We're talking already Costa Tszyu, Lennox Lewis, Floyd Mayweather, Layla Ali. You're in there with them. I mean, that's as good as it gets, really.
So the champion emeritus for the WBC is really recognising champions that are not just champions in the ring, but champions outside the ring. And just when you say those names, I'm like, far out. I was going to swear, but I won't. But far out, I've accomplished some incredible things, and I definitely didn't do it on my own. It's been an entire team. I look at my family, regardless of how far we've been spread or what's going on in our world, and I'm really grateful. I'm grateful for my brothers, for my parents, for my kids. I'm just, you know, everyone that stepped into the gym when I was training, and everyone that said, yep, I'll get in the ring and spar with her, and everyone that's ever had anyone that's ever interviewed me and spoken with me like you do. It's just, it takes a team to allow someone to step into a great space, and I've just been blessed.
When you won the title, it was a bit of a mission getting to the venue to fight it for firstly, and your Argentinian opponent, Marcela Acuna, I think it was, on the Gold Coast. 2005. You rate that as your toughest fight? You got pretty damaged during it too, didn't you?
Yeah, so I would say it was my toughest fight. And when we talk about being damaged, I remember the referee saying to me, and the referee was Brad Vicalis, an Australian referee, and I did know Brad outside the ring. I've refereed alongside Brad for a long time. And he just come up and in the very polite Brad Vicali way, he just said to me, so Sharon, I just want to let you know that it doesn't matter what happens in the ring, I'm not actually going to pull her up for anything, because, and I'm like, look at her, I'm like, what? And I've watched her previous tapes, like she would hit someone and they would be literally knocked out, their toes would be shaking and like flinching, and that would be it. And I remember the twins' dad at the time said to me, geez, have you seen what she's done to these people and how she knocks them out? And like, Sharon, they're out cold. And I'm like, yeah, she hasn't met me yet.
The wild thing.
But interesting enough, when he said to me, I'm not going to pull up for anything, and I just said, what? And he said, well, we're on your home ground, so no matter what the outcome is, they're going to contest it, no matter what. And then what I want them to see, because obviously the video and everything goes to the WBC, and then they all watch it as a committee, and he said, I want them to see what the fight was all about, and then they make the decision. They've got the final say on who the winner is and who the world champion is. And oh my gosh, I got headbutted, I had a broken cheekbone, I think it was round 2, no, my finger broke in round 2, the tip of my finger, then my cheekbone from a massive headbutt in round 7, and I just remember that fight thinking, far out. This is between me and you right now, and we've got a bigger mission right here, right now. We've got a much bigger mission, and you know, I just felt like I had a greater force protecting me at the time, and it was gold. It was amazing.
She didn't realise she's up against the wild thing, did she?
No, she thought I was a little Barbie doll looking. Yeah, it was. I had trained extremely hard, and I was very, very prepared.
Yeah. Fantastic. So nowadays, of course, well, life's still busy. You've got 4 beautiful boys. You're full on homeschooling and solo mumming, and so there's not much downtime for you. No,
not much at all. And again, I'm blessed. Sometimes our house can be, I sometimes refer to it as a madhouse. My kids are great. They're an absolute gift. And I say to them that in case you're watching this at a later time, you boys are all so much more important to me than anything I've ever achieved. It's just what a blessing to be able to pass on knowledge and life, and just help raise these beautiful boys, and yeah, have an incredible set of parents that join me and help me along that journey.
I'm sure they're all...
Oh, okay, so I must be getting old, because I get like emotional when I say cute things.
I'm sure they're all very proud of you, like your mum and dad and your brothers and myself.
Thank you.
Proud to know you.
Yeah,
It's
thanks,
awesome.
John. You're an amazing man. I'm gonna say today's a bit of an interesting day. Today, the boys are getting fitted for suits, so that's good. I'm like, we've got mum and dad on tag and toe. I'm doing 2 only, and then I'll take 2 back and swap to the other 2. So, yes, that's gonna be fun, and I'm very blessed to be getting dressed by a very good friend of mine, Sonia Stradiotto, tomorrow. For Friday night, so at Sonia Stradiotto Couture at Marina Mirage. So ladies, if you are looking for something very stunning, that is exactly where to go.
I'm sure you'll look drop dead gorgeous, Sharon, and we wish you all the very best, and just have a wonderful night in Melbourne. Just suck it up, it's beautiful.
Well, I will. I'll give you plenty of photos.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Sean.
Thanks,
very
Sharon.
grateful.
Thanks, mate.